Hi, Warriors. Hi, team. How's everyone doing today? I hope okay. Good, Sinatra. And yesterday, Blake was asking Ryan what would turn cable, and Blake answered himself in a tweet when he was talking about it when it was down here that it didn't quite achieve the objective of the Head and Shoulders and turned up. Nice call, Blake.
Thank you. And by the way, I just want to say good morning. I was just freshening up my coffee before we started, and I was running a little bit late, but it's just me and you today, Dale. You know, it's like the good old days, like the days in the beginning.
Yeah. Well, we always had Steve and Stella around, but
Yeah, but I don't like those guys. I don't like them. It's just me and you. This is all I really care about. Just Coach and I.
All right. Anyway, nice call on it. Any news behind it, Blake, where that sparked it?
No, not that I know of. I'm like you, just kind of getting my bearings straight. But overnight there was some European CPI data that was like the like some CPI data that came in a little weaker than I expected. But I think it's just a really overbought dollar, just kind of profit taking at this point. The dollar's been on the move, and the cable's been so weak. It was bound to find some buyers soon. So, I just hope not a bunch of people got short because, anyway,
I remember I did a little mention that FX had the reputation for being good trenders. Well, check this out. We're going into our 12th green week in a row for the dollar index. Try and find a market that for 3 months solid never had a down week.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing. I don't know, maybe it's approaching a record or something here.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, look, even on the way down, you had some mix, candles that would go the other way. You don't find this uniformity of all blue candles anywhere on the chart.
Yeah, I think a lot of that had to do just with pure positioning, and then obviously monetary policy too. But a lot of it was just remember. I mean, it's funny, Dale. We look back, like you can look back, and always hindsight is always 2020, isn't it? But we were discussing how bearish the market was on the death of the dollar. I mean, that was like the news cycle. It was unbelievable. And I'm like, I mean, we sat here and we're like, do you guys really think that the dollar is going to go somewhere? I mean, that, and it's I have to say, it is and I watch a lot of this too, almost more than I watch CNBC or Bloomberg nowadays. And it's been this trend that's been pretty consistent with me for the last several years. I've been watching more macro analysts on YouTube and than I have on CNBC or Bloomberg. I keep those up quite a bit throughout the course of the day, but I listen to a lot of podcasts and watch videos of people that I follow or people that I find maybe interesting. Or
can
some
learn
people
a lot.
What's that?
Can learn a lot doing that kind of research.
You can, and then I also, I tend to focus in and kind of keep count on how many doom and gloomers there are, and they're the chorus of the dollar is going to die. Back when we were having that, there was the big BRICS meeting, and ahead of the BRICS meeting, everybody thought that the dollar was going to be, just crap the bed. And
I remember,
that was a big driver, I think. Go ahead.
I remember I happened to be on Real Vision this day at the bottom with Ash Bennington, and I said, you have to buy the dollar here. And I said, if you're not a kamikaze like me, I said, all you have to do is wait for a blue candle back above the breakdown for a failure
Yeah.
breakdown. So I
Right.
mean, that was right here. You really had no heat, no drawdown, and all you had to do was sit. And back then I was talking 108. God, we're not that far away.
Right. And look, there's a lot to be said about, positioning, and Dale, and having experience, which you do, and I've kind of been around the block a few decades now.
Yeah.
The thing is you see the chorus of people and what they're doing, and you can when they're out of line, they're out of line. And I think that was a lot of it in the dollar. Then on top of it, you take the central bank divergences, where and the exceptionalism was the story that kind of gave the dollar index the life that you see. I mean, it started off with everybody was bearish the dollar, but then, as we've found out, as of the last few months, the dollar, US data continues to outshine the rest of the world. So that exceptionalism on top of positioning, we got a great trend, didn't we? So here's the other thing, Dale, and Patrick said TV is horrible. I mean, there's so many doom and gloomers right now and I have to say that the bears right now are 100% running around in circles doing victory laps right now. So you have to be really careful about being short equities. I did the trade-off last night, and I don't know if you guys saw it, but I'll show you in a little bit, Dale. Well, you have it on your screen.
We could rally back to 4,400. I'd be a seller if we did that.
I want you to show the charts that you want to show really quick before I take over, Dale. But what you'll notice there's an ABCD completion. We actually, if you look at the E minis, maybe not a CFD, not the CFD that you're looking at. Go look at the E mini futures.
Well, you could show it.
I mean, I can. If you have other charts you want to show, then I'll okay.
I guess I could put that up.
Well, the thing I wanted to point out is we also completed, we have here, let me go ahead and pull it up, Dale. I'll take over from here. Okay, and then you tell me if there's things that you want to look at, because it's just me and you, buddy. But take a look.
I'm here.
Oh, dang it. He showed up. He showed up. Grega, hold on real quick. We'll come here. Good to have you. But you see that trend line, Dale, on the E-mini futures? Yeah, we tagged it. You see the ABCD?
Yeah.
Done. And yesterday when we did that, we got we were in the ForexAnalytix chat room when we posted that. I mean, we got about a 30 26 point bounce in the S&P. Soon as we hit that low, we just went whoop. and here's the risk. I mean, you have everybody that's bearish. We hit some really key support. You get a little bit of an inverted head and shoulder pattern. You can see stocks moving right now. And guess what's going to happen this weekend? More than likely.
What, the shutdown?
Yeah, we're going to get a shutdown. Do you know it? Do you know it's coming?
Yeah,
I know it's coming. You know it's coming.
I think it'll last a couple of weeks.
Well, do you think the market knows it's coming?
I think the market knows.
Yeah, market knows.
It's no black swan. If it's a black swan, it's been on national TV for weeks. So I don't think black swans advertise an event for a month or so.
Right.
Before they happen, right?
Yeah.
Gotta be a white swan.
Wait, Ahmed said, you know what, Ahmed, I want you to stop for a second and just I want you to ask yourself how offensive that question was. Where is everybody else? Why is there only Dale and Blake? Where is everybody else? We got Grega here. That's pretty offensive. Actually, Ryan and K-Man are in London doing a thing on a Bloomberg thing. So That's where they are. So yeah, Ahmed, I'm just harassing you, but just so you guys know, that's where they are at. And somebody else asked earlier where Steve and Stelios have been. Stelios has had a little bit of a scheduling conflict with his family during these hours, and Steve has to do some technical things for our show during this broadcast, so he can't really be here. But he's on the Morning Edge, which is the show in about an hour from now that is for the ForexAnalytix subscribers, so you'll catch him there. Anyway, back to what we were saying, Dale. Look, we have everybody knows that we're going to have a shutdown. It's a known quantity. We hit some pretty key support, and you have a chorus of bears right now running around, calling the death of the market. I think that there's a good chance that the market can squeeze here back to, as you pointed out, 4,400. I think that is a risk.
Yeah.
Or maybe,
I think it's an opportunity. Yeah, I think it's an opportunity.
Yeah, me too. And look, I don't think 4,400 is. I think that's a pushing it a little
the
bit.
neckline is too as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say 4370, 4350,
Yeah.
somewhere up here. This is the area that I would be looking for.
So
is right,
maybe we get relief in the dollar, which is starting, and maybe we pull back to 104, and you would think the market would be able to rally under those conditions, and maybe even a little relief in yields. I mean, we had a throwover on Cayman's upper line, the return line. That surprised me. Yesterday's spike in yields, and it's confirming everything.
It is. And look, Dale, I think that if you look around, and I'm going to pass it over to Grega here in a second, because Grega, I'm sure you have some things to say about this, but I just want to show you, just because it's Dale and myself, and then we got a special guest, Grega, here, and I got a little bit more time to talk this morning. I want to show you how many key levels have been hit today, and I want you guys to just see them all. And also, just realize we were looking at all this stuff yesterday. All these really key levels of support were all hit. And let me show you real quick. Here's the euro channel support hit, right?
And you are also at January levels. So it means actually that we are printing almost new lows of the year. And that's almost usually very, very important in my opinion.
All right. Hold on, Greg. Let me just show. I'm going to show just a couple of charts. I'm going to pass it over to you.
Sure.
Cable, head and shoulder pattern, basically complete. It's horseshoes and hand grenades, right, Dale?
Yeah.
Close enough
for government work.
Close enough, buddy. Yeah.
And remember, I actually tweeted over one of your tweets where you showed quadruple confluence on the S&Ps. And my comment was like everyone was waiting for that lower number in the pound. It didn't get there.
Yep.
It may later, but it didn't get there. That when everyone's looking for one number, either doesn't get there or it just melts through it, is what I've noticed.
Exactly. Dale, that's a lot of experience that you can't buy. You have to live through it, Dale.
Yeah.
And we've done that. Yesterday, on the Morning Edge show and in the daily roundup, I can't tell you how I was. We had a very, very long, elongated talk about the Aussie. I'm a little skeptical of the Aussie right now being on the short side, just because it's been so sticky around 64 cents. There's been a lot of Chinese stimulus that, the market's still trying to see if it's gonna pass through the economy or what. But I think it's one thing that's kept the Kiwi and the Aussie steady. As you can see, here's the Kiwi in a triangle consolidation. Oh. You can see the Aussie, in a descending channel consolidation. But I said, hey, if you chase the Aussie on the short side when it hits fresh lows, now this was yesterday. I said the problem with most traders is they don't look left, and they don't look at the 127% extension. But, if you take the 127% extension of really this last impulsive move higher that we got in the Aussie dollar, that takes us to 63.40. which was 20 pips lower than the 63.60. And I'm like, so there's going to be a lot of people that are going to chase the Aussie dollar on the short side. This is yesterday. Going to chase the dollar on the short side, and they're going to get caught short as it hits a key fib level and reverses on channel support. And that's exactly what's happened. And it's just, it's creating the people, the John G's of the world, you know, they chase the market in one direction thinking there's a big breakout or breakdown, and then they get caught in that breakout. That's exactly what happens with the breakdown in the Aussie when you don't look far enough left and you're not, you know, insightful enough to take a look around what's happening more than just on an intraday chart. So there's the Kiwi, and then I got to show you just a couple other charts. The US dollar Norwegian krona, we're really holding this support right now, but you got to watch crude oil, because if crude reverses and we see a little bit of a sell-off, then you might get the US dollar Norwegian krona actually breaking down. Now, that's the last chart I want to show before I pass it over to Grega. But I just showed this in the ForexAnalytix chat room, and I'm going to read you my commentary. This is the stuff that is in the ForexAnalytix chat room, but you can read this. I should also mention, yes, something that Paulie said yesterday, Paul Franco, you know, that he said yesterday. He said, show me one crude bear. Show me.
Yeah.
Go find me one. Do you know of any crude oil bears, Dale?
No, I actually was talking about that. It's a very crowded trade.
It's an extremely crowded trade. And we had a bull flag pattern that we've telegraphed here for literally the last month, that completes at 96. We went as high as 95 or 94.99 today. And we got a false breakout above resistance.
Yeah.
So you can also say that was close enough for government work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got everybody bullish. You got everybody, because this is the easy trade, right? Something we've been talking about here for literally 2 weeks. Crude oil rallying is going to be negative for stocks because it's going to weigh on consumer spending, and it's going to weigh on consumer sentiment, and it's going to be a, you know, runaway inflation and blah 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 blah. And so everybody's like, oh yeah, let's sell stocks because crude keeps going up. Now crude's at a level that energy is going to start weighing on consumer spending, yada yada yada. Crude's wrong because it's a, you know, supply issue. Great. That's been the story for literally the last like month. And so now you got crude that has completed basically a bullish pattern, and everybody's bearish stocks. If crude actually does a little false breakout here and starts to pull back towards 85 or 88 bucks, which seems logical, you know, that we come back to the breakout point somewhere around here. If that happens, what happens to stocks? Well, then you get Dale's move back up to, you know, 30 or 43, 75, 4,400, right, Dale?
Yeah.
I mean,
and you know, if you just lined up the dollar, the 10-year yield, and the WTI chart, they're all the same, just different magnitudes.
Yeah. And speaking of that, the 10-year yields, I mean, we're at the 127% extension channel resistance too. Now, it's hard for me to sit here and go, I think we should fade bonds right now, but they are at some pretty key resistance, right? It almost looks like they could break away, run, which would be scary. That would be scary.
Yeah.
But hey, you know, it's nice that we have Grega here. Grega, how are you?
I'm fine, doing well.
Good. So what do you got to show us today, and what are you thinking? I mean, there's been some pretty big moves that have developed, you know, today. And and by the way, we do have economic data coming out, which we need to talk about. But I wanted to maybe pass the charts over to you for the next 5-6 minutes and show us what you got.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I will actually start with the S&P 500 since you mentioned. Can you see the charts?
Yes, got them.
Okay, perfect. So as you mentioned yourself, Blake, and also you, Dale, you discussed that we are at the pretty important levels. So I would also want to add something here on the S&P 500. So it's definitely still an uptrend, okay? And more importantly, it's end of the third quarter, so probably there will be new flows going into the October. And also looking at the seasonal charts, okay? Here's the S&P 500, October was very positive, while September was negative. Okay, so we can expect based on this that there will be some rebound. That's the first thing. The next thing is we have the put call ratio. We can see that puts are increasing. So obviously there is some fear in the markets, but always when we moved close to these extreme levels over the past year or so, we have seen a major support for the S&P 500. So these are the few things that I wanted to add to this potential supports here on the S&P 500. Not forget that we also had this gap going back to June of this year, and this gap has been perfectly filled here just in this week. Okay, so it looks like that everything around these levels, it's going to be pretty important for the next few days, maybe even weeks if we rebound. But as you know, I'm Elliott Wave guy, and for now I will stick with the uptrend. I was tracking this ABC correction for the last few weeks, and as long as we are trading here above 4170, let me just switch some charts. Okay, here above 4178, that still can be a wave 4, because otherwise, if we see an overlap with this level, then this rise from October lows is not going to be an impulsive. And then things will get a little bit more complicated, because most likely we will remain trapped in a very big range. So
and Grega, that 4200 level, or that support that you're really focused on there, that is a 38% Fibonacci retracement of
this rise
of this entire and the entire move. So it like that is the do or die for the bulls. I mean, you know, when you're talking about Fibonacci's, when you have a 38% retracement, that's the deciding factor whether we start getting a really big pullback in the markets or a continuation. So it's going to be a big reactionary spot. I think I agree. Anyway.
Yeah. But maybe now for the end of the week, now if we focus a bit more on the short term, as you said earlier, there is potential the head and shoulders pattern developing. And now also, if you look closely here at this structure, keep in mind that I said that we are probably in a wave C trying to stabilize. Wave C is a motive wave, should be made then by 5 waves. For now, that's not really the case yet. So in the short term, I also expect some recovery, but I want to see what happens here at 4370 to 4400. That's going to be a very important key intraday resistance levels. Ideally, we will get another final sell-off here going into the start of October, when maybe there will be different flows for the end of the year quarter. But then I believe we could stabilize finally and turn to the upside. Also looking at the US yields, just a second.
So overall, now it does sound like overall you are more of a bull, and you do expect this pullback to be bought and it, you know, to continue a bullish trend, right? I mean, overall.
Yeah, exactly. Overall, I'm still bullish stocks, but I just think that firstly, we have to see obviously dollar that will stop at the resistance. Unfortunately, we have metals that have seen a pretty aggressive turn to the downside this week, but that's something that I'm looking at this drop on metals that are just could not hold this dollar strength. Okay, so sooner or later metals had to give up. And what I see now on metals is that we are coming to the downside into the wave C. So I believe that we are coming lower into the final leg of a corrective pullback. Here's even better picture looking at the daily chart. Okay, so I think that we are in a wave C of a counter-trend movement. And that said, I believe that later this year, we could still see a very nice and strong rebound here on metals. 1850, 1800 is a strong support. So, of course, I also see US yields moving into the resistance while the metals are coming into the support. So this is the last chart I want to show here. So you have here US yields making 5 waves up, right? So it means that trend is a little bit overextended with this 5th wave. I think it's a pretty nice and strong resistance up there. And at the same time, I think that this could be dollar index trying to completing this wave C rally here of an expanded flat correction. So we have a pretty big important levels, and most likely important patterns will unfold over the next
Yeah,
few weeks.
and may I add that Grega a week ago said we would trade over 106 in the Dixie. So that was a great call.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so you have anything on Aussie and yen, Grega? Aussie's kind of
So, I mean,
sticky. Do we have to finish that off?
Here's firstly dollar yen. We
Yeah.
are coming out of this triangle 150. That's the level everyone is watching. I will
Yeah.
not be buying it here. I'm ready for potential shorts, but firstly, I want to see a top forming, because otherwise
Yeah.
for me is just too big. You never know how
Okay.
far this trend can extend. But
Yeah.
if we go finally back below this channel and trying to approach or even break 147, I think that this pair is very good on shorts on a pullback. But for now, dollar is still strong, so I really do not want to fight it here. But definitely very strong resistance. Who knows, maybe again some kind of interventions will occur around these levels, and this could maybe cause our reversals. At the same time, obviously with dollar yen, we have to watch the US yields.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Aussie?
Aussie, I think that this one is coming into very important levels here on looking at the daily chart. Potential still ABC, you're at the 78.6%. And looking at the 4-hour time frame, we recently broke this triangle, touched a new low, now trying to retest this triangle line. So I think in the next 24 hours or maybe till the end of the week will be important to see where we close. If we go, let's say, above 64.50, I think that maybe low is already forming.
Okay.
All right. Well, Grega, we got about
nice.
3 minutes before the news comes out. I want to say it's great to have you here. Really I gotta point something else out, guys and gals. If you don't know this, Grega Horvat is our Elliott Wave Elliotician in-house for the ForexAnalytix analysis. So if you want to get his views every day on these 30 different instruments, you can find them right here. Now, Grega, one of the other things I want to mention, this is where you and I differ a little bit as far as gold goes. I blogged about gold, about the reversal. You can actually find it on our blogs. I do the chart of the day. I try to do the chart of the day at least twice, 3 times a week, just depending on my schedule. But if you go back to gold, which would be about 2 weeks ago when we were up here, I was looking for a reversal over to the wedge and then a reversal higher from here. We're at pretty key support. I was expecting a government shutdown, but with the government shutdown, I'm wondering if gold is going to be bought here. Now, it was under a lot of pressure the last couple of days. It's finding support where it should, which is this longer term trend line. If we reverse and get back above 1885, I don't think you want to be short gold. I think you actually want to be long gold. And I think the dollar and gold could possibly go up together. But if the dollar goes down here, gold's really going to accelerate higher or bounce, because if you think about the cable bouncing, you think about the euro bouncing, gold's going to bounce alongside of it more than likely. So that's another thing I wanted to throw out there. That's where I think you and I differ just a little bit on some views. So,
I'm on Grega's side.
You think gold's going to like 1800, huh?
I said that. I've been saying that for a month.
Well, you're both wrong. Both wrong. Both of you. I don't know.
I think Grega's been saying it for a month. It was a target a month or so ago. Anyway.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are targeting.
Grega copies all my work.
He does. I mean, what about this Grega guy? Actually, we like to harass you, Grega, but I tell you what, his work is very valuable, and you can find it all right here. If you don't follow him on Twitter, you should. He's a very, very good follow on social media. Anyway, we have data coming out here literally in less than a minute. Let me grab the data flash. Greg, are you still here? Maybe he already bolted.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you
for being here. We're going to cover really quick because I shifted everything. Let me go. Oh, this is the dollar index. I'll put it right in the middle, or right on the left. In the middle, we're going to do the S&P. Crap, I'm running out of time. Dale, how much time do I got?
I don't have a second.
20 seconds. Okay, never mind. Here's the S&P, and I'm going to put yields over here to the left. I'm running. Okay, there's the 10-year yield. Here's the data. Jobless claims. We have final GDP. We have some housing data coming up a little bit later, I believe. Yeah, pending home sales, and a little bit later. So here we go. What's up with the data? What do we got? GDP came in a little worse than expected. These jobless claims, I tell you what, they continue to beat, but and I think that's going to be the data that's moving the most. I don't know. Continuous claims getting better, but yeah, it looks like the GDP data is the data that's actually weighing on the market a little bit on the dollar. You can see the dollar is off just a hair. Stocks are rallying. I think maybe because even though this final GDP number, it is the last read, the price index quarter over quarter came in worse than expected by actually 0.3%. So that from an inflation standpoint is pretty negative. And so stocks are liking it.
Look at what yields are doing.
Yeah, yields are pulling back.
On a strong number, they're coming in.
Yeah, but it's that price index number that's coming off that people can go, hey, the Fed's got it under control. Look, they don't need they could cut rates if they need to. They don't need to keep them higher for longer. Again, I think they'll keep them higher for longer, but that's the market's anticipation right now. So you're seeing dollar sell off, S&P rally, yields pull back. Gold is bouncing. Watch gold if it gets above 1885. I know you guys are bears, but
how about yen?
And the dollar yen is slumping a little bit. And by the way, there was absolutely no intervention, efforts taking place last night. Not that I saw, and I wasn't watching. I didn't go back and read headlines overnight, but the dollar yen still stalling ahead of 150. I think people get a little nervous up here. I mean, rightfully so. Do you have an interview today, Dale?
No, because I've been nervous being early. Yeah, I screwed the whole week up. First Clapman canceled, then I thought that my guest yesterday was today, and then I found out he was here yesterday, and Pedro da Costa rescheduled. So no,
for tomorrow, right?
I had to reschedule Thomas MT.
Well, let me address a couple of questions that came in really quick, and then we'll wrap things up. Greg, are you still here? I think he is still here. If he's still here and he wants to, hey, Greg, I see you're unmuted.
Yeah.
Hey, if there's other charts you want to go over, we can do it. We've got a little bit of time, but I want to address a couple of questions because I got some questions about copper. Is copper a false breakdown? And I think you got to watch copper and the Aussie very carefully down here. They've been really sticky. And I'm a little nervous being on the short side of risk at this point, as you guys can probably hear my hesitation today. You got the Aussie dollar that could really bounce back above 65 cents, maybe even take us to 66 cents. And so you start looking at copper and start wondering, hey, does copper get a leg up here? We had a false breakout on the upside, back here in early August. We could very easily just be developing what you call it a flat, don't you, Greg? Isn't that what you guys call it? Like get a flat. We might end up doing that near term in
looks
copper.
Like some kind of a triangle to me.
Yeah, it could be.
The whole pattern.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it as a longer term triangle. Maybe you just widen it out a little bit. I don't know. I mean, maybe it does do something that looks like that. But anyway, I guess the fact of the matter is the bears aren't getting paid here. And you got the Aussie dollar that looks like it's going to bounce. You got risk that looks like it's going to bounce. I mean, everybody's bearish stocks right now. And here we are, rallying towards highs. We got this inverted head and shoulder pattern. Guys, I'm telling you, if we break 4,300 today, we're going to trade back to 4,330 later today.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have that inverted head and shoulder pattern play out intraday. And then what are all the doom and gloomer YouTubers going to say then, right? Look at gold. Gold looks like it's going to start squeezing here. Sorry, guys, I know you guys are bearish, but look, this could still play out. Gold can still play out back up towards 1920 and head lower too. I mean, it's not Not like this is it and we're going to go up forever from here. No, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I think we could find some support here. And by the way, Euro's trading at highs, cable's trading at highs. So, you know,
Yeah,
dollar
so
index
this
looks
is
like we're in the
relief
middle.
for the market. It better make hay out of having a weaker dollar and yields coming in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
It
you know,
should.
look,
If it doesn't, look out. If it doesn't, if the headwinds that are now tailwinds don't help stocks perform, then there's really a problem.
Yeah, right. Oh, then I'm unlike you, Grega. This is where one of our big differing views are. I am a stock market bear. Not that I think we're going to crash, just so everybody's well aware of that. I think we're in a big consolidation. This is the longer term S&P chart. If you guys really want my views here, you know, we are probably doing this. We're going to be down at 3,800, back up at 40. Well, that's a little aggressive. Maybe back up at 42, 4,300 sometime in 2020, 24. And this is going to be a couple year consolidation that you see here. And I think we've had a big party.
I'm not sure if you have the chart here of equal S&P 500 ETF.
I mean,
equal weighted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do. I do. Let me pull it up. It is where is
RSP? I think it's
I have it. I used it for the week ahead video a couple months back, and so I still have it up here somewhere. It is. Well, anyway, RS. What is it?
RSP.
Yeah. Yeah, it's right here. Yep.
Yeah, and this one is clearly represents, as you said, that we could be at the hard degrees sideways consolidation. I mean, it's definitely not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's like the Russell. I mean, I don't know how people could be bullish the stock market if they look at IWM, which is really a lot of US domestic stocks and the regional banks. And IWM, if you were short all last year, didn't hurt you, which is a statement in itself. But you have a head and shoulder breakdown.
Yeah, but we're at really key support here, right?
Yeah, it could rally back to the neckline.
Sure, why not?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for 140.
Oh wow. Wow, that's
a count. That's a count off this thing. Anyway.
Yeah, well,
this is what I hang my hat on to be bearish a market. Because look at what it did all this year with S&Ps making new highs, NASDAQ going parabolic. All it did was move sideways.
When are we gonna when we gonna have another banking crisis? There's got to be more bank failures coming up. I mean, with yields, it's not the move in yields that necessarily is the bearish part of this move. Like if we have a move in yields over time, it's the velocity of the move where banks are like the Titanic. You know, they can't shift gears so fast. So these types of moves are backbreaking for banks. So I wonder when that's going to create a little bit of a failure. I guess we'll find out, right? And we'll see it in the Russell. Yeah.
And KRE.
Yeah. KRE. Yeah. I guess that's another, I think I have it right here. Yeah. That KRE still looks pretty damn heavy. Hey, Grega, what, any other charts that you were thinking of before we roll out of here for the day?
Well, nothing really that important. I think that we covered all of the majors that we should track on a daily basis. Maybe just, as you said earlier, euro dollar, moving into that very big level. Let me just open.
Yeah, it's I mean, this is
so
obviously
back from June. So I always somehow in my head I have that when market opens in January, there's statistically speaking, it's very small chances that market would move in a straight line from the January open to the end of the year. Normally, those January levels will be at some point retested. And we are just coming back into these early New Year open levels. So obviously, we know that at the start of the year, important flows will show up. And that's why I'm again looking, whenever we are approaching these levels, that this is another important potential swing point.
All right. Yeah. Very, 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 very important that we are right where we open the year. So great views, Grega. Hey, I just want to really quick, I threw up the VIX because I was like, hey, wait a second, we are trading below resistance, and lo and behold, we are. The VIX is, this is kind of a warning here, right? Especially if we get back below the 200-day. Like, hey, don't be too short risk.
It tried a couple times. 18 is a breakout, so under 18, we could pull back to your orange line, maybe 15 and a half, 16. That would be under the conditions of a S&P rally back to 43, 4,400.
Sure did try, right? Sure did.
I thought it was going to happen, but
good try.
Maybe
always a bridesmaid.
I don't know.
Always a bridesmaid.
Not sure, guys. If you look at silver, I mean, silver is definitely testing some key point trend line, right?
Yeah,
it is
2240.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I keep expecting a breakdown so we can get that move to 20.
I'm waiting for it.
Me too. I'm just like, let it break. I want to buy it. I'd love to see it down here. It just,
so maybe it bounces with the dollar for
well, hey, maybe the if it doesn't break down, we get one of these. Maybe that, or this, that, maybe one of those, right? One of these. I'm joking. Hopefully you guys are getting a good kick out of that. One other thing, and I guess we should probably get on out of here, as I got to get ready for the morning edge, which is the ForexAnalytix subscribers. Hey, if you guys are not part of ForexAnalytix, I do need to say this. We put on pricing specials, maybe 2-3 times a year, where we give significant discounts. This weekend, we will be launching our start of the season. This is our start of the season. It's September. It's when our trading season starts.
Back to school.
Yeah, back to school. Your back to school special. We will be offering our special that most people wait around for, because that's when we give like the best discounts for our show, our specials, our premium package. So you're going to get a significant discount if you wait till this weekend. So just want to give you guys a heads up, because when it comes, you have to take advantage of it, because like we haven't ran a special in 6 months, or maybe even longer, maybe even 8 months. I don't know, but it's been a while. So if you want to be part of probably the most active trading community around, like here's our chat room just this morning. You can kind of see this is from, and remember, we don't have Ryan and K-Man here today. So usually they're just buzzing and humming. So this is when I got up, and that was only about an hour and a half ago. And you can see just all the chatting that's gone on just in the general chat room, in the trades room, where you can see us posting what we're buying and selling, not just myself, but what everybody else is doing. We got the S&P room, which is very, very busy, obviously with the markets moving. Then we have our Flowonomics room. We have a lot of chat rooms where you guys can be involved in, and it's great to have a community, right, Dale? It's like,
and Paulie's great too in the stock index room.
He's awesome, man. It's the guy is like just a scalper extraordinaire, like just in trading the NASDAQ and the S&P. So so there's a place for you, and it's a safe place. We don't talk politics, we don't talk religion, and every once in a while we'll talk about a good Netflix movie that's on, because things are really boring. Or this weekend we'll be talking about the Ryder Cup, which go USA. Sorry if you live somewhere else. But it's going to be we'll have some good banter regarding the Ryder Cup there too. So anyway, I just want to say, wait for the special this weekend. We'll have some good prices available to you. And then when you do use ForexAnalytix, make sure you download the mobile app so you get all these updates, all the charts that we send out. When they go out to your mobile devices, and you can join our chat room through your mobile device, and have this mobile app that'll send you notifications when support and resistance levels are breached, those types of things. So anyway, Dale, it's been like old school days with me and you, and with you too, Grega. It's nice having you here.
Yeah, we're the originals.
The originals, the OGs. So
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us, and Grega, thanks for being here today.
Thanks.
Yeah, Wizard. Thanks for dropping in, flying in, Wizard, for some looks. Appreciate it. And ask yourself if you had a good week, because I know the community did pretty good this week. So join them. And don't just count your pips, count your blessings. We'll wrap up the week tomorrow, and we'll ask Pedro DaCosta what he's thinking about the Fed and yields, this move in yields and the dollar. And I could ask Pedro everything and he'll answer. So see everyone tomorrow. Good hunting the rest of the day. Thanks, Blake. Thanks, Grega.
Thanks, Coach.
See you guys.